Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, a little mini episode of the TasteBuds podcast. It's your host, only just me, Kenneth, also known as Infinite K. And as you saw by the title, no, it's not clickbait. I'm just going to talk about what's happening with the TasteBuds podcast. Why haven't we uploaded in about a full real podcast in about a few months, or like a month. You may be wondering, oh, why was it just Ben? Last episode, Ben aka Sauce, shout out to him for making that episode by himself. Go give him a subscription. Obviously, we love Ben, and we also love Andrew as well. Just to give a little insight on why we haven't really uploaded, it's just school, work, and all that. Our schedules just haven't really aligned, as Ben said in the last episode, which a bunch of you watched. And obviously, before that episode, we couldn't really record. It was just him because we need content. We need to actually upload, which we haven't really done weekly, and I know it sucks. A lot of you don't really know who we are, but you're going to eventually, and you're going to start knowing who we are after this video, because we're coming back. We're going to be coming back stronger and better, and just overall, I feel like schedules aren't aligning right now. That doesn't mean they won't align next week. They will. We'll figure out a day. We'll get one out next week. But other than that, I just wanted to come up here and be like, oh, what's happening, and answer the question. I just feel like we're all in a different, period of our lives right now. As y'all know, I'm the youngest of the group, so I graduated high school about 6 or 7 months ago, and they're in college and just living life. So it's about different stages, but we also all three work at Taste, so that's why the name is the TasteBuds podcast. Simple stuff like that. Other than that, I just feel like schedules aren't aligning like they should or like they used to. Just the drive that we have to record episodes weekly isn't there. I want to get it back. I'm hoping we can get it back this upcoming week. But other than that, I think that's basically answering the question, what's up with us? What's happening? Why haven't we uploaded in weeks? Like a full 3, us, the trio, the TasteBuds podcast. Why haven't all 3 of us, been in the same Discord call for the podcast, and just why it hasn't happened? And I feel like I answered that pretty well. And I also just want to talk about some sports as well, because, I'm making this and it's only going to be like 5 minutes long of just me talking about what happened to us, And I don't want it to be that short. I won't talk about a lot, but I just want to talk about recent sporting events that have happened, like the MLB World Series, because I know Ben couldn't cover that 2 weeks ago. I believe that's when he uploaded that. And the Dodgers versus the Blue Jays, it was a solid, great 7-game series. The Dodgers came out on top. Game 7 came down to the wire, where it was a cleat spike. It was Um, Andy Pajes turning into prime Julio Jones on Kike Hernandez. And then Will Smith, Miguel Rojas, for those of you who don't know, hit a home run in the bottom of the top of the ninth to tie the game. And then bases loaded, Will Smith, ground ball hit to Miguel Rojas, who just hit the home run, stumbles a little bit, and then throws it home, gets the runner out, 2 outs, bases loaded, and tie ball game in the World Series. Ernie Clement's up to bat. Now, for those of you who are living under a rock, Ernie Clement has the most postseason hits in MLB history in the postseason with 30. And it stayed 30 because he popped out to what should have been an almost Willie Mays-esque catch from Kike, but Julio Jones out of center field and Andy Pajes mosses him. And then it's game going to the extras. 10th inning, it's not really super eventful. No scoring happened. Yeah, the Dodgers got bases loaded. The Blue Jays got out of it. And then the Blue Jays, didn't really do much. But top of the 11th comes up. Will Smith is batting first. He hits a home run. I go crazy, and we take the lead. And the next thing you know, we win the World Series off of a Alejandro Kirk double play from runners on first and third. Beautiful scenes as a Dodgers fan and just a baseball fan. Even if you're not a fan of baseball, that was the best World Series that anybody has ever seen in recent memory. I think the last great World Series was the Cubs Indians, when the Cubs snapped their streak, where the Indians hit a home run in the top of the ninth off of one of the best closers in all of baseball, and they went to extras as well, but then the Cubs ended up going out on top. So that's that. I think that's realistically about it. And NBA season's underway. I'm not really into basketball like that. So I'm just going to skip over a few of I'm just going to give a little insight of that, but the teams that are balling that are usually that weren't good last year, like the Pistons, they're 7-2. They were good, but I don't know how they're 7-2. The Bulls started off the season like 5-0 or something, or 6-0, and now they're 6-2. But it is what it is. And the Pacers without Tyrese are 1-7. The Celtics without Tatum are 4-6. The Thunder are obviously 9-1. They're such a good team. Shea has like the most points by a lot in the entire league. Wemby balling out. Mavs are 2-7 with Cooper Flag. No Kyrie sucks, but it is what it is. VJ Edgecombe, Andrew would be happy to talk about him. He's been balling. Jared McCain's back for the Sixers. And that's about it. That's all I really have for that. For college football, we have the CFP poll, or the playoff rankings. We have Ohio State at 1, Indiana at 2, Texas A&M at 3, Alabama at 4, Georgia at 5, Ole Miss at 6, BYU is in there at 7. Texas Tech, I don't think they should be that high at 8. I feel like Oregon should be above them at 8. But I mean, Oregon did lose to Indiana, but it is what it is. Notre Dame is at 10. I don't know how. I don't think they really played anybody too great. They lost to Miami and Texas A&M in the first 2 weeks, and then they just won every single game. And they didn't really play anybody of any significance. And Texas is back in the race. They're at number 11. Oklahoma to round it off at 12. UVA is at 14. They're going to get a bid because they're ACC. And then there's a team that's not ranked that are currently projected to go into the playoffs, and that's Memphis. And that's kind of crazy. I don't know. I don't think there has ever been a team to not be ranked currently and in the playoffs, because it's just never happened. Because we've never had a 12-team playoff with this automatic bid thing. And yeah, for football, for NFL, the Patriots are balling. Drake May is Drake Maying. The Patriots have one of the best defenses in the league. The Bills are 6-2. The Jets had a fire sale on the trade deadline. They traded away Sauce Gardner to the Colts for 2 first-rounders and Adonai Mitchell. What? And then they traded away Quinnen Williams for another first-rounder to, I believe, honestly, they traded him to the Cowboys. And I have one small little moment of silence for Marshawn Nealon, I believe is his name. He tragically died the other day. Rest in peace. I'll give a little moment of silence for him. Thank you. And the Dolphins traded away Jalen Phillips to the Eagles the other day as well. They also got Jair Alexander and someone else, but I forgot his name. The Cowboys also hyped up a trade going into Monday Night Football against the Cardinals. They lost, and then they announced it and said that they traded a 7th for Logan Wilson, who isn't the greatest acquisition. He was hyped. Jerry Jones was hyping it up for no reason. But other than that, Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels is out for 3 to 6 weeks with his elbow injury. Gruesome, dislocated elbow, but 3 to 6 weeks is good. That means there was no real ligament damage, which is great for him and his health. But I think the Commanders are done for the year. Throw in the towel, tank the rest of the year, and just call it there. Get a good draft pick and whatnot. The Saints turned to Tyler Shuck over Spencer Rattler. They also traded away Rashid Shaheed to the Seahawks. Shout out to Chris Olave, enthusiast for the Saints. Rest in peace, Torrey Horton, enthusiast on the Seahawks for fantasy. The Niners lose another defensive piece in Michael Williams to the MetLife turf and the injury demons, because every single 49er, CMC, Kyle Shanahan sold their soul just so CMC could have a full healthy year, and they're 6-3, so they're killing it. Mac Jones is like balling. He's like turning into a god. I don't know. I mean, he's balling, and that's all I can say about that. Broncos are leading the AFC West. They called me crazy. They're 8-2, the best record in the league. I'm recording this on Friday, the November 8th. It's also going to be uploaded pretty soon after I'm done recording this. I don't think I really need to edit that much, but the Broncos are leading the league in the best record. They're being compared to the 11-0 Steelers from a few years ago. But I mean, a win is a win, no matter what level you're at. If you can win a game, even if it's by one score, it's a win. And I stand by that, and that's all. They played an atrocious game. I didn't watch the game because, it's the Raiders Broncos, and I was just, living life. And it was 10-7. Broncos won, and they just be grinding out wins. Whenever there's a close game or they're like losing, they just turn up and then ball out. Especially like the Giants, where they drop 33 points in the fourth quarter, which is crazy, and win the game against the Giants, which is even more crazy. And I think that's about it. I will talk about some NHL stuff. I'll just talk about the standings because, why not? The Eastern Conference has the Devils at 10-4. I know Connor Bedard is leading the league in points, in total points. He was coming into yesterday, I believe. He has 22 points. He was the number one pick last year. Connor McDavid's still running the league. The San Jose Sharks with Celebrini are balling. They did have the number one pick. Sidney Crosby's balling with 11 goals. Tied for first with Gauthier of the Anaheim Ducks. Wow. Other than that, I think any notable teams, the Florida Panthers, reigning champs, back-to-back reigning champs, I believe, they're 7-1-1 or 7-6-1, which isn't awful, but I mean it's the start of the year, so like they have a bunch more games left. And the Utah Mammoth are balling as well. They're 9-5-0 with 18 points. They're fourth in the Western Conference. The Golden Knights, which is my team, the Vegas Golden Knights, I've been a fan since they were established in 2017. And then they lost to the Capitals. But I mean, it is what it is. We ended up winning it a few years later, but it's okay. We're 7-3-3. Jack Eichel is a point leader in the top 5, I believe, what I saw, and I believe that's about it. Yeah, that's all I got for this week. And go show some love to Infinite K, which is me. Go show some love to Ben, aka Sauce. Go show some love to Big Red Belly, aka Andrew, or number one Paul Reed fan, and if you're a day one, but show some love to them, and we'll be back and stronger than ever, and I'll see y'all when I see ya. Next week, hopefully we'll be talking about MLB free agents, NFL Week 10, some NBA, and then college football if any upsets happen that are crazy. I'm going to do my outro. Or actually, no, I'm not. I was about to do my own channel's outro, but I shouldn't because this is a TasteBuds podcast channel. Make sure, I hope everybody enjoyed this podcast episode. Make sure to always stay tasty.